Hello, my name is Dr. Linda V. Brown, and I am the CEO and president of Brown Leadership Consulting. This is where we practice streamlined approaches for seamless results. Now, we look at systematic approaches as well as those of a personal people approaches. So we work and operate from a stance of putting people first that will operate successfully within a set system. So let me introduce you to 3C's and the 3i's. So I'll start with the people first, which is the 3i's. This is where we talk about the fact that we look at the inner core values of who you are. So we start with the first I, internal. The second I is intervention. And the third I is innovation. So we have the internal, getting to know yourself from the inside out, which is going to help you to detox and get rid of things that's been there for too long and really doesn't serve a purpose. Because as we grow in our own self-development and the world as always changing, then guess what? We need to detox. So when we do that intervention to get rid of those things that doesn't work for us, we got to ask ourselves the question, like Janet Jackson's song, what has that done for you lately? So let's get rid of it. Oh, but we have to be careful because when we create that void and that gap, we need to replenish it with something positive. Why? Because that opens the third door, innovation. Innovation from a stance that now you have positivity overwhelming some of the negativity so that we can move forward with creativity. So the 3i's again is internal, getting to know that core values, your DNA. The second one is intervention. That is detoxing, getting rid of the bad, but replacing it with wonderful growth things. And then this will enhance the third I, innovation, which will allow you to go forward and be more creative. I also registered 3C's, one called communication, 2 is called collaboration, and 3 is called cooperation. Now, how do they connect? Very simple. When we understand what it takes to build relationships from an infrastructure of understanding the levels of communications, the type of communications, the when to communicate and not to communicate, that is the communication theories. Most relationships, oftentimes at the end of the day, is broken or made because of one simple word with a long spelling called communication. Then the second one has to do collaboration. For you see, when you build that infrastructure of collaboration, that is now building blocks for enhancing. You got the word respect. If you notice, I love to refer to music. That's one of those songs that Aretha Franklin is so well known in all languages across the world. Respect. You need to find out what it means to me. Not only to me, but in me understanding me, it helps me to understand you. So from those communication infrastructure builders, it will help us to team build better. We will get to know and feel comfortable in sharing with each other. That is called the collaborative. In other words, we respect the fact that it's okay for us to agree or disagree, and agree to disagree, and that it's okay because we have a safe, open communication. And that leads to the third C, which has to do with cooperation. This is how infrastructures are built with solid teams that operate efficiently and effectively on a daily performance basis. And what you do at work, guess what? That same suit you had on, you can take the clothing part off, but a part of that DNA operations that you spent 8, 9+ hours at, and you bring it to your own social home environment, just your personal life, at that point, lots of entities still exist in you. So let's make sure that when you take care of self is good for your work environment or professional environment, as well as in your chosen personal life environment. You just want a solid infrastructure of DNA. So let's go back and review. We have the 3i's, getting to know yourself internally, that DNA core, getting to know yourself from an intervention perspective. That's the second I. Being able to detox and replace with good. And that will give you innovation, the third I. So we got internal, intervention, and innovation, which is the people side. Usually operational structures in any organization will carry the 3c's, starting with communication, knowing who to communicate, when, where, and how, and the type of communication that works best for that individual. That takes us to collaboration, the second C, which has to do more with let's work together as a team. You know, we have a theme in this nation called Together We Can Do It. We can accomplish everything when we work together. And that's in your personal life as well as in your business life, but it's also part of the operations of any organization across all boards. And that generates a third C. Now we're willing to sit at the table and bring to the table our true thoughts, knowing that we have created a safe environment to be heard and to be potentially acted upon. And because of that, let's get the people and the infrastructure working together so that we can create a better world. Don't you want to be a part of that? I know I do. Let's get busy.